Hi witches! So today I wanted to continue the conversation that we've been having about broom closet magic onto another realm of my craft, and that is kitchen witchcraft. Now, I know everyone kind of knows that archetypal image of a witch like stirring a bubbling cauldron, but to an extent it's kind of true because I 100% do that. I love cooking up like a big pot of soup with like herbs and spices and like root vegetables. I also love baking bread, and recently I've been making very magical ramen. It's just so good. Which I know sounds like kind of weird, but I'll get to that. If you guys want a recipe, let me know because I do it for the full moon and it's amazing. There's something I think really, really magical about cooking, especially when I'm cooking for somebody else. So anytime I'm cooking, I'm usually cooking for myself and my partner. So cooking for someone else just makes me want to make the most delicious, like beautiful thing. So that way, you know, my partner at least has like good nutrients and stuff. I know it's a really weird way to think about it, but it helps me. I think I put more time and effort and love into it. So I think there's something really to be said about doing that, about putting love into everything that you cook. And it's really, I know it's like a common phrase, but in reality, it's kind of like low-key witchcraft because you're really just, you're stirring your intention and your feeling into whatever you're cooking. So let's chat about some ways that you can incorporate kitchen magic into your craft. The first one is going to be kind of important, especially if you are a witch who follows the Wheel of the Year. If you're interested in celebrating the Wheel of the Year, but you're unsure how to do so, if you can't decorate an altar or do like necessarily outward ritual work, you kind of have to keep it on the DL. Most festivals are celebrated by feasting, so yes, there's always food involved. And a lot of those foods are like seasonal foods, so you can kind of base your like menu around foods that you will be getting or you'll be able to access that are kind of a novelty to that part of the year. For example, during Yule, you can make a Yule log cake that is actually a Yule log, and when we get to Yule time, I will 100% go over all of this, but if that is something that you want to do, then, you know, it's not necessarily seen as like weird or like out of place during the holiday season to have like an actual Yule cake, but it can also be a ritualistic kind of thing. Some witches choose to decorate like cakes or bread with pagan symbols like pentacles or sigils or like sometimes like nature elements like leaves and stuff, which is like super pretty. So if you're not in the broom closet and you want to do that, there are tons of really like beautiful like witchy ways to decorate. I like to make pentacles out of like pastry and like put them on pies and stuff. It's very fun. But you can totally omit that part if you are not in the broom closet, because really it's like what is in the dish that matters. If you're cooking for non-magical people, you can definitely omit that part, like I said, but a great way, if you can't set up an altar, is to just cook for your family. Usually they're not going to say no. In my experience, I don't really think like people, if someone says, hey, I want to cook for you, it's kind of seen as like a good gesture. It's just easy to say, oh, I just felt like making this, or like, no, there's no reason, which is an excuse I used all the time. I eventually was just like, oh, it's the summer solstice and I think that's cool. And for whatever reason, my mom like bought that. And then she was like, oh, well, I want to celebrate the summer solstice too. And I was like, excellent. Yes. There's a car beep. That was really funny timing. But yeah, we ended up like having it, like she helped me in the end, like with a Letha celebration when I was like 16, and it was weird. Okay, so let's say cooking big meals for lots of people just like isn't your thing. I get it, it's stressful, I totally get it. Something you can do for yourself on a daily basis is adding cinnamon to your coffee in the mornings for an extra, and this will give you an extra boost of energy, a little bit of extra like magical energy as well. And then you get bonus points if you use a cinnamon stick to actually stir your coffee. So like I was talking about, I think in my tea video, if you stir clockwise, you can set your intention, and counterclockwise to banish negative energy. Okay, so my next suggestion is that you should season your food purposely. Black pepper and salt, when mixed together, are very protective. They are used in a lot of protective energy, like as just literally like ground black pepper and like rock salt. But if you use that while seasoning your food, it's still kind of giving it a protective magic. Items used in witchcraft do not have to be very expensive or extravagant. You can use table salt. No one's gonna like judge you, it's fine. If you season your food in a counterclockwise direction, it will bring protective magic to any dish. Likewise, you can use herbs that correspond to whatever working you're doing in your food. So you could, you know, if you're trying to make if you're trying to do a peace spell, you could bake lavender into cookies, for example. So that is kind of just like a cool suggestion. Just, you know, herb magic doesn't just have to be like making incense and making spell jars and stuff. It can be used in a practical sense. And I think that is like really, if you're trying to get into herb magic, definitely where you should start is the kitchen. Okay, and then number 4, this is really kind of, I think, more for witches who aren't in the broom closet, but if you haven't already, think about setting up an altar or a sacred space within your kitchen. So this will be a place where you can put your tools. A lot of witches have a specific set of spoons and like tools that they use, or like knives or whatever, that they use for magical workings within the kitchen, which I think is really cool. If you work with a goddess of the hearth, it is often encouraged to put a statue or something of that that deity in your sacred space within your kitchen. So it's just another example. You obviously don't have to do this. I understand that not everybody can do that, but if that's something that you're interested in, I definitely recommend. I love making altars. I like putting things up. If you haven't seen my thrifted altar video, check it out. But yeah, it doesn't have to be expensive or extravagant or anything. It could just be a place to keep your tools. So definitely recommend looking into building something like that if you're interested. So with kitchen magic, not everything you make like has to be magically charged. Sometimes like a grilled cheese sandwich is just a grilled cheese sandwich. But if you're in the broom closet, kitchen witchery might be a really good place to start ritual work, because it's kind of like accepted that you're going to be mixing herbs and stuff together to make a final product, kind of like a spell. So regardless, I hope you guys got some good ideas from this video, and I would love to hear about how you work in the kitchen, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.